This video will help you understand weighted grades in your class. So this is the grade page on Canvas. Yours should look similar to this. In this class, I've got it set up with different weighted graded categories, different assignment groups. So major papers are with 67.5%. Those are those big writing assignments. Essay process, things like peer review or preparation quizzes for the papers are worth 12.5%. The final exam is worth 7.5%. Discussion questions are worth 7.5%. And everything else, so that's like reading quizzes and other small assignments, are worth 5% of the grade. Okay, so this is not set up as simple points. If it was set up as simple points, if you wanted to find your grade in the class, you would add up each score that you got, and then you would add up each point value for the points available and just divide it out. That's not the way the grades work in this class. They're weighted. And the good thing is the math is not super complicated, but Canvas will do the math for you. Okay? And the important thing to remember here is that it's not about the points. It's about the averages. So it's about, I've got 92% on average on my papers. It's about, I've got 80% on average for my essay process category. So like the fact that there's 84 points in other doesn't mean that that's about the same or half of what the major papers are worth. The other category is only worth 5% of the grade. That's less than a tenth of what the actual major papers are worth. Okay, so it's not about the points, it's about the averages. Okay, now you might be thinking, why is the teacher making this confusing? Why is, missing 2 points on this assignment different than missing 2 points on this assignment? And there's a couple of reasons for that, but the main point is that by doing weighted grades, I can easily ensure that the assignments that are the most important are emphasized in your grade. So it's a writing class. I want to make sure that no matter what, your papers, the things that actually show how well you can write, are worth the majority of your grade. If I try to do a simple points system, it can get a little bit messy. So, for example, if I want to do a lot of small assignments to kind of help prepare you for these bigger assignments, if I'm not careful using a simple points system, those smaller assignments, because there's so many of them, might start to be worth more than the big assignments where you're actually showing what you can do. If I was to try to convert the assignments in this particular class into, a simple point system, the papers would start to be worth like hundreds of points. We'd be looking at like a 400 or 500 point paper, and I think that's just as confusing as the weighted grades. And then you'd have like, quizzes where a multiple choice question, would have like 4 points, for a simple answer, just to make sure that the value of the assignment is appropriate. To me, that's not any clearer. Now, I'm sure to some people that would be clearer, and I do try to, to some extent, make bigger assignments worth more points, like the papers. I guess I could grade them out of like 10 points and just weight the grades, but I don't. I set them at 150 points to, emphasize that they're worth, more part of your grade. Okay, so remember, for weighted grades, look at the averages, not the points, and Canvas will add all of that up for you in the end. Okay, thanks very much.